Did you know that the U.S. welfare program has it so untraced that people are able to buy drugs with the welfare assistance that the government provides for them? Um, Being this, I think that the government should have drug screenings before being able to apply for welfare for themselves or their family. Some of the things that we'll be going over is to understand what the welfare system actually is, how it benefits the citizens of the United States and the world. We're going to be talking about the consequences of welfare fraud, how deep and how strong it could be, and how also we'll be going over how it doesn't just affect the U.S., but it does affect um, countries that have welfare programs for their own citizens. Some of the things that we The welfare program is it's actually really beneficial, especially for families that are between jobs or trying to raise kids on their own, single parents. There's the list of what the welfare system consists of. There's supplemental nutrition assistance, also known as food stamps. You take these to grocery shops and you buy food, that the government gives you money for. It consists of medical aid. If you need to go do something as simple as a doctor's visit, the welfare systems will pay for that and any emergency needs. It helps with income, supplemental security income. So you'll get help not just in cash, but for Social Security wise, it helps with that. When you do your taxes, it does do the earned income tax credit. So it will help at the end of the year when you do your taxes. It acts as a tax credit, or they will forgive some of the money. One of the biggest things out there, most popular, is the Section 8 housing. There's apartments, housing complexes. If you rent out a home, the government will pay for it, or most for a lot of it. That way, you and your family could have a roof over your head, and also they will give you financial assistance. So they will give you like straight up cash for house needs, house cleaning, whatever you need for welfare necessities. Welfare. So my issue for this is how the government assistance and drugs relate, which they shouldn't relate because they're two completely different things. So if the government issues money to help yourself, it should be only used to help yourself and things that you need. The way the people do is they sell their benefits, that the ones that are able to, food stamps and the actual assistance, and they use it strictly for not strictly, but they use a lot of it for drugs, which is really an unethical idea. It is is a main issue for welfare fraud, as it's not used, and it infects people who really need the assistance. Some people really need the money out there to even survive, and there's people out there that straight up just use the money for drugs just because recreational use drugs, which is something that I completely disagree with. And aside from it being a fraud, it impedes the government budget because all that money could be going for other people that need the assistance, or it could be used for other government necessities that we need. And for the best solution for this is drug screenings. If you go apply, you should have to go take a drug screening to make sure. It may not deter all the people away, but it will definitely help. So a little more detail on the fraud or what it consists of. It's once the people sell the food stamps, it becomes completely untraced to the government. So even to do an actual study, they don't know who really does what. And the food stamps, they get taken to the grocery store. So the grocery store gets the money, sends it back to the government as it being spent. So, but they don't really know who was the actual person who used it to get food. So it's a false statistic from the government to actually know if it was used properly or not. Another big thing is falsifying documents. Some people actually put in that they earned way less without proof. Sometimes they don't ask for proof. So them just seeing the amount will automatically grant them access to welfare, in which it becomes a big crime. And the difference between it being a misdemeanor or felony is all completely up to the court, as it depends on the amount or how often they've done it. So either way, it could become a misdemeanor, or it could go up to all being a felony. All the way, it's all up to the court. And the reason why it impacts me so much is I actually had a friend who was asking me for rides, and we stopped by to go drop him off somewhere, and he came back with cash, and it was kind of apparent to me. I knew he was getting the welfare assistance, but for him to just come back out with cash, I kind of asked him. He's like, "Oh yeah, I sell these because I need to go buy other stuff." But just knowing him, he did that, and he's no longer my friend anymore. Just it upsetted me because I grew up with my family needing welfare assistance, and we used it to the best ability, and it really helped out, and it makes me who I am today, knowing that I used it in the most ethical way possible. A little more, it's a little aggravating too, is that it's not only the U.S., but it's many countries that have the welfare system have the same issue. An example, the United Kingdom. They have studied that the 27% of the welfare budget is actually lost to fraud. They've gone through people just to see what goes on, see what they get to spend it on, and that their estimate is actually it's over a quarter of the amount. So that's big, and it does impact not only the government but the people, again, who need the actual assistance. And some countries don't even have it, but for the main part, people who do have it, they should have a system to actually make it so that it's not easily fraudulent. For the drug screening, the biggest reason why I agree upon it and I would want to be able to push for it is that we do it for a job. When we get, when we submit when we send an application to get a job, and they give us an offer, the first thing they do for us is they actually give us a drug screening. So we do it for a job. How come we can't do it for when we apply for, to get welfare assistance? It will deter people, and the assistance should really be monitored. Not only to drug screenings but also as how it's being spent. And I really want to push for government issues to be against it. So government procedures should really be improved. We also want to know why the government is against it. I know the governor of Florida has been denied twice as he's trying to push for the drug screenings, but he has been denied twice because the government says it's too expensive to start the program and too expensive to maintain. But the outcome of it is going to be way better. They say that the screenings won't improve solutions, and sadly enough, they say that they're willing to accept the loss of the fraudulent just for the fact that they say starting the program will be way too expensive. We also, conclusion at the end of the story, it's for the nation to be as successful as it is now. We need to work more on our ethical ideas. It's a big frustration knowing that the money is just being spent on the things that the government is completely against. Drug screening will minimize corruption as it will make the rules stricter. The government should really bring it up to like an ethical level. That way everybody has a better, stronger mindset. Not only to the U.S., but to the welfare system worldwide. Thank you.